5 ways to break Garten of Banban 2. Garten of Banban 2 is the second chapter in our kindergarten quest of suffering. In this video, we'll be breaking the game in ways the developers did not really intend. Here are 5 ways to break the second chapter. So later on in the game, after we get through the grueling class session with Banbalina, we end up coming through this hallway with some bowling pins, and then we come out into this room with trees, and there's various little Opila birds scattered all around. And in this room, we can find a small blue little Opila bird, similar to the one I found out of bounds in Chapter 1. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly recommend watching that video after this one. Something interesting in this area is that as you're exiting the classroom and going through those bowling pins in the hallway, that door that you open doesn't actually close unless you die. So at first I was thinking, oh, maybe we can avoid Opila bird by dragging this bird back to the classroom. And just to show you, as you can see, it's open right here, but if we die to Opila bird, now we respawn and behind us it is now closed. However, if we have Opila bird chase us into this hallway, we'll see that unfortunately there is an invisible wall before the bowling pins, and we will die anyways. However, I only mention this because of what you just saw. The giant Opila bird got stuck on the infant for just a second, and of course that gave me an idea. So what you're supposed to do in this area is take all the Opila bird chicks and put them in the nest. And this is a very long and drawn out fetch quest. But by doing so, when you open the door, Opila bird will then go to that nest instead of chasing after you. So this got me thinking, okay, what if we put 3 birds in the nest and then we hide in the nest ourselves? So we do just that. We have 3 birds, then we open the door, Opila bird starts chasing us, and we try to force our way to the back of the nest. It's very hard because of the collision, but we can do it. But what this does is creates a barrier between the player and Opila bird, and Opila bird's pathfinding is now broken. It cannot figure out a way to get to us, so Opila bird just turns around and runs away. So basically, we are safe forever in this nest, and Opila bird cannot get us. However, even though this is cool, this was actually not the discovery I wanted to show off, because I'm all about breaking the game, and the best way to break it is to ignore this puzzle altogether. So instead of picking up any of these birds, we grab the key card, we open the door, and then we wait on the ramp. And when Opila bird comes after us, we then just jump off the ramp and run through the door. Opila bird cannot fall off the ramp, so they have to turn around, and thus we have enough time to get through the door, and then we die instantly to the giant yellow snail. However, the reason why this skip works is because we get an autosave the second we go through that door. So even though we died, we respawn in the snail hallway and we skip that puzzle entirely. Moving on to number 2. So in the warehouse, there is this blue spider monster that is following us on the ceiling. And when we make our way through this area, we grab a key card, and then this monster spawns, and then we must run from it while navigating the different arrows on the floor. However, if we initiate this monster and then go back into the room we came out of, well, the monster just sort of hangs out above us. It just straight up runs through objects on the ceiling and has no regard for what's up there. Now, it cannot get us while we're in this room because there's a ceiling, and it's above the ceiling currently. However, for some reason, this logic does not apply with the little overhang outside the room. Because even though the monster can't see us, if we start jumping on top of objects over here, the monster will straight up just clip through the ceiling and get us anyways. So yeah, it's a bit glitchy and a little broken. Number 3, let's head to that classroom now, because we have a very long classroom session with Banbalina, and during this, it's very possible to mess with her. So starting off, in between sessions, we're able to move around the room, and we can actually have Banbalina follow our movement with her head. And her head can only rotate 90 degrees, looking left or right. So if we were to go behind her, or go beyond that threshold, you'll see her neck just sort of snaps from side to side. Now, while that's interesting, that is not the reason we're here. Because there is a very rare chance that while you're answering questions, she will attack you before you have a chance to answer. In fact, she'll be telling you the question, and then she'll just straight up kill you while she's telling you the question. Now, the reason this happens is somehow Banbalina thinks you're not in your chair, even though you're in your chair. And if you're not in your chair in a timely manner, she chases after you and jump scares you. So by spinning in your chair and looking up and down at the floor while she's going through her monologue of questions, there is a very slight chance that she will begin chasing after you because she thinks you left your chair. So it's definitely a bit strange, and I'm not entirely sure how the logic works in this one. Number 4. So after we get knocked out by Banban, we end up in the medical wing of the facility. And as soon as we wake up, there's this puzzle that we have to solve. So there's like these X's on the wall with this giant room with no bottom. And we're supposed to turn on the light and then guide our drone to these different points on the wall so that it can then break this glass from behind. And the reason we are supposed to do this is because you cannot target your drone to attack glass head on. You're not able to click on it, so this is a workaround because the last X is in front of the glass, which makes your drone fly through the back of the glass, breaking it. However, as you might have guessed, we don't have to do any of that because all we have to do is target the ceiling in front of the glass. And then when the drone flies up there and bumps into the ceiling, then we target the floor right in front of it and the drone will fly down and the hitbox for the drone will break the glass. So we can speed this process up quite a bit. Onward to number 5, and the one that I was very surprised by. So at the end of the game, there's Banban who's talking to us in an elevator, and we can see this cake on the table, and then we get warned about the doors opening and how we need to run. This starts a chase scene with Banbalina and Jumbo Josh as you navigate some hallways, avoiding Josh, while Banbalina chases after you the entire time. Eventually, Banbalina gets smashed and she drops a keycard. However, we can stop this chase the moment it starts, and doing so is extremely easy. So as Banbalina spawns and Jumbo Josh comes out of that door, well, all we have to do is go to the table and jump on top of it. If we stand in the center of the table on the back of it, Banbalina will run up to us but then get stuck. If we're not perfectly center, she will slide to the left or to the right. But if we are perfectly aligned, she will just sit there and she cannot reach us. Her AI does not know to go around the table when we're on top of it, because it cannot fully detect where we're touching the ground at. So by doing so, Banbalina just stands there staring at us, and if we look out to the right, Jumbo Josh will be staring at us as well, and neither of them will move. So the chase never actually happens. We could stay like this, and both of them will stay frozen forever. Now, this situation is almost exactly like Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, where if you jumped on any object in the room when Huggy Wuggy is chasing you, Huggy Wuggy's logic just breaks, and he just stops moving altogether. So I kind of found it a bit ironic and funny that a similar bug exists in a similar type of chase scene. But with that, that is 5 ways to break Garten of Banban 2. For those of you still watching, I have a little bit of a treat. Here is a sneak peek at some of the things in the off-camera video for Garten of Banban 2. So it took me a bit longer than usual to get this ready, but it'll certainly be worth the wait because there is a lot to cover. So stay tuned, subscribe right now if you want to see that video the second it drops. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Cheers!